Okay, so I just got back from an event of the brand new Samsung S25 series. So obviously the flagship, the S25 Ultra. Quick little unboxing that I did there. So the box art very similar, the size, the dimensions are the same, just a little silhouette difference of the box. You have the warranty info and user manuals, as well as one USB-C cable that kind of lives on top of the box. You just have to flip that down. And then you have the device on the bottom. Pretty simple, pretty similar to the S24 series, to be honest. And the 4 different colors this year. So this is what everyone wants to see. So the brand new hero or flagship, the new color this year is titanium silver blue. Obviously all devices are titanium. They also have titanium black, titanium gray, and titanium silver white, or I should say white silver. I find that the gray and the silver blue look very similar, honestly, side by side. They're all very muted, not too contrasty. And when you actually look at the S25 Plus or just the standard S25, that has a bit more contrast. So they have navy, which is the darkest one. They have silver shadow, icy blue, as well as mint. So kind of pick your choice here. And along the bandings of the 25 Ultra, like I said, those are made of titanium. So it's interesting. They've gone with 2 different options. The band, which is a bit darker on titanium black, as well as titanium silver. So it's a bit more of a darker gray titanium, whereas on titanium white and titanium blue/silver, that banding is a bit lighter. And unless you've got the devices kind of side by side, it's hard to tell the difference. And weirdly enough, the S Pen also kind of matches that banding. So once again, the S Pen on the black and silver are darker, and they're lighter on the white/blue and silver. And those technically aren't body color matched. And my personal opinion, after getting to play around with them, I'd say they're honestly very, very similar. Most people will rock a case on it anyways. Maybe the silver blue, just because it's a bit more unique. It's their newest color, but if you want to keep it safe, I would say the titanium black is probably the best option, but let me know which one your fave was. I wish we actually saw the navy or the darker blue, which we see in the Plus, as well as just the standard S25. I would have loved that on the Ultra. So the next big thing, which we actually didn't learn about, but I just kind of compared myself, is the pricing. So there is a bit of a price increase, unfortunately. So I've got the Canadian dollars, 120-ish difference. So it's the base model, 256 gigs with 12 gigs of RAM. That is now almost $1,920.99 compared to $1,800 from last year. So I'm guessing US pricing, probably $100 difference, which I'm not too surprised. Samsung has kept their prices pretty steady for the past couple years. So this was kind of expected. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. In terms of the size, there's a slight difference in overall dimensions. I'll kind of leave it up on screen, but the corners are actually a bit more rounded this year. So before, with the S24 Ultra, when you had that in your palm, it would kind of dig into the corner because the edges were quite sharp, which I kind of liked. This year, they're a bit more rounded, a bit more, unfortunately, like an iPhone. The screen has also gotten larger, 0.1 inches, but that is just thinner bezels, so you have a higher screen to body ratio. So it's still 3120 by 1440, obviously a QHD Plus panel. It's dynamic AMOLED. I know that Samsung makes some of the best displays, sometimes a bit more on the saturated side, but for my quick time using it, it looked really good. On the inside, it's running the Snapdragon 8 Elite, so it has the fastest silicon. It also has 12 gigs of RAM across the board. Like I said, you can either go 256, 512, or up to a terabyte, which once again in Canadian, $24.58, $2,400, and pretty much $60, which is a lot for a phone. Camera system, once again, very similar, just a slight upgrade on the ultra wide. So that is now 50 megapixels. So you still have the 3 main ones on the back. The 200 megapixel main, you've got the 2 telephotos, so the 10 megapixel 3 times and the 50 megapixel 5 times. And you still have that 12 megapixel front facing shooter. So the ultra wide has been a nice one. So for my full review, I'll be sure to test that out. Also new this year, you can now shoot log video. So that's just in the pro video setting. I feel a lot of people are just using their smartphone now as their one main device. So if you like to grade your footage, get a bit more in depth into editing, I'll have to kind of tweak that around. I'm not too sure what the LUT conversion is for Samsung footage, but once I pop that into editing, I can kind of once again test that out. But it is nice to see that log feature. Battery remains the same at 5,000 milliamps. It is still 45 watts fast charging plugged in, and it has fast wireless charging 2.0, which isn't changed. That's still 15 watts wireless. And overall, with all of that inside, the weight has actually come down. So it's 218 grams versus 232 from the S24 Ultra. So once again, fairly minimal in terms of physical changes. I guess the ultra wide is the big upgrade to the camera. Obviously, Samsung has thrown a ton of AI features in it. Are all of them useful? They've got this one called Drawing Assist where you can kind of swipe over from the right little toolbar. Is it something that you use every day? Once again, probably not. I kind of played around it within the demos. They do have something useful called AI like sound eraser. So within a video clip, you can choose to like min or max a certain sound. So say blur out background noise, enhance like voice clarity. You can isolate music. So once again, if you're big into like editing on your phone and using like video clips from your phone, that could be definitely useful. They have something called the Now bar, which is on the bottom. That's essentially just like a quick little update of what's going on in the day. That's just pulling info from all of your accounts, and you can kind of just see quick little highlight. So obviously AI is a big thing, but really curious, have any of you guys used like any AI features that have rolled out like on laptops, on other phones in the past like year? Let me know what your fave is. That is pretty much the S25 Ultra unboxed. You saw the colors. Like I said, the silver blue is probably like my favorite. Still feels super premium, and I guess kind of just like AI, the S Pen, maybe I use it initially when I grab it, but then it kind of just sits in the slot or the tray, which is on the left-hand side. I find it's very close to the edge, but that is just a personal opinion. Full review is dropping soon. Let me know if you want anything covered, but that's your look at the new Samsung flagship. Peace. P.S. If you're still listening, I'm at Galaxy Unpacked here in San Jose, and you can see some of the online exclusive colors. They've got titanium pink gold, blue black, coral red. A lot of them kind of mix together and look similar. That coral red looks really nice, but that's only available on the smaller options. But titanium jet black completely blacks out the phone. All the banding is black. I think this one looks really stealth. So some of the online exclusives look really, really good.